Hi College, today's video is going to focus on identifying major and minor sixths that we hear, so please have the worksheet ready. Just a quick reminder about major and minor sixths and how we can relate our ear to different types of songs and solfege. So if we have a major sixth that's ascending, that's a major sixth, it will sound like Do up to La. If I play the whole scale, let's listen to the major scale. And I'll stop on the sixth note. So that would be Do to La. Do to La is a major sixth, or perhaps you've watched the TV channel NBC. You hear this. NBC. The opening to that, the N and the B, sounds a major sixth ascending, so you can relate major sixths to that. Or Do to La. Now we have a minor sixth that ascends. It sounds like this. And I'm sure you've heard of this song before. Well, the opening there of The Entertainer by Scott Joplin sounds as a minor sixth. See if you can hear it. Right there, I'm going back and forth between two notes, sounding as a minor sixth. Okay, if you like solfege, minor sixth ascending will sound like Mi up to Do. Or you can think of The Entertainer. It wouldn't exactly sound right if I played that as a major sixth. Okay, and for major sixths that descend, we can think of La, Do, just the opposite of major sixths that ascend. Remember, major sixths that ascend are Do, La. That could be La, Do, or if you're familiar with over there, send the word, send the call over there. Well, on over is a major sixth that descends. Or La, Do. For our minor sixths, we can think of The Entertainer again, because you hear it actually go back and forth between an ascending minor sixth and a descending minor sixth if we listen to this. So that's a minor sixth. If you like solfege, you can think of high Do down to Mi. Do, Mi, would be a minor sixth. Okay, so we're going to try our ear out on these 10 examples. And the directions say listen to the interval and choose the response that you hear. Let's start with number 1. And here it is. And what I'm going to do is play these melodically and harmonically so you can hear them sounding together as well, because they're a bit trickier than the smaller intervals we've done in the past. Here's number 1. Here's number 2. Here's number 3. Here's number 4. And number 5. Here's number 6. And number 7. Here's number 8. Here's number 9. And here's number 10. Okay, before we go on to the pitch patterns, I do want to go over our responses to the first 10 to see how you did. Okay, so you did not have to identify the specific interval, but I did, so you can see what we have here. For number 1, the correct answer is C. We're dealing with a major 6th ascending. So in other words, this will sound like Do up to La, or the opening to the NBC TV station song. Let's listen to the correct example. Here is a major 6th. This is 1C. The next best response would have been A, but A was a minor 6th ascending, which would be the entertainer, or Mi to Do. So that was 1A. 1B, you notice, is simply a minor 6th descending in reverse from A. Here's the correct response. And choice D was a major 6th in reverse order from that of C. So hopefully you heard the NBC theme song, or you heard the solfege Do La for number 1. Number 2, we're looking at a minor 6th. That's going to sound like the entertainer, or Mi up to Do. Let's listen to the correct response. So that's our minor 6th ascending. For 2B, it was Do to La, because we had a major 6th. Or the NBC theme song. That would be the next best answer, because it was ascending. For choice C, we were descending, a major 6th. The NBC theme song in reverse, or La down to Do. Minor 6th for 2D would sound as follows. That was a bit tricky. It's always harder to hear the descending melodic intervals. So 2 was a minor 6th ascending. Number 3, the correct response was C. We have a minor 6th descending. Let's listen to it. entertainer. Or if you like solfege, you can think do down to mi. For 3A, we have a minor sixth ascending. Let's listen. That's also. For 3B, we have a major sixth descending. La down to do. It helps to sing these when we review them. Here's the correct response, 3C. And here is 3D. A major sixth ascending would be do la. Sing it. So if you put choice B, you would not be far off, but certainly it was not A and D. We can rule out those were ascending. For number 4, the correct response was C. We're looking at a D flat to a B double flat, making it a minor sixth interval, ascending. Let's listen to that. That should sound like the entertainer, ascending. It's interesting, I'm realizing right now that number 4 is inharmonically equivalent to that of number 3. For 4A, we had a major sixth ascending, do la. For 4B, we had a minor sixth descending, the entertainer, or do down to mi. The correct response was 4C. And for 4D, we had a major sixth descending. That's the MBC theme song backwards, or la down to do. For number 5, the correct response was C, a major sixth descending. La to do. Choice D was the opposite direction, a major sixth ascending, NBC. The correct response was NBC in reverse. Choice C. For 5A, we have a minor sixth descending. For choice B, for number 5, we had a minor sixth ascending. For minor sixth ascending, we hear the entertainer. Or if you have a really good ear and you're really good at solfege, perhaps you heard do to lay. Number 6, the correct response was B, a major sixth descending. Let's listen. That's the NBC theme song in reverse, or la down to do. Sometimes it helps to take the lower note of a descending interval and put it up the octave and try to hear it that way. La do. A was a minor sixth ascending. 6C was a major sixth ascending. Listen to 6A and 6C back to back so you can hear the difference between an ascending minor sixth and an ascending major sixth. Here's 6A, the minor sixth, and 6C. Larger by 1/2 step. For 6D, we had a minor sixth descending, which was the opposite of 6A. Number 7, the correct response was C. We have a B to a G, making it a minor 6th ascending, sounding like the entertainer, or Do up to lay, in a minor key, of course. 7A was a major 6th, Do La. 7C was Do lay. 7B was a minor 6th descending. Sometimes it also helps to hear the interval in your head the opposite direction. So if it's a descending interval, try hearing it or singing it in your head ascending. So if 7B is this, try hearing it as by reversing the order of the notes, and that might help you decipher the interval. So that was a minor 6th. For 7D, we have a major 6th descending. La to Do, or MBC backwards. For number 8, the correct response was A. We heard Do to La, or the MBC theme song, ascending. It was a major 6th. Here's 8B. Here's 8A and 8B played back to back, major 6th and minor 6th. If you chose B, that would be the next best response, but C and D were descending, minor 6th and major 6th respectively. Let's listen to 8C. That's the entertainer backwards. And our major 6th descending is the opposite of the correct answer. The correct answer was A, Do La, and D was La Do. For number 9, the correct response was B. We heard a minor 6th ascending. Nine A was a minor 6th descending. 9C was a major 6th ascending. Do La. Listen to 9B and 9C so you can hear the difference between the minor 6th and the major 6th. The first one, minor 6th, will sound Do lay. The second one, 9C, will sound like a major 6th, Do La. And 9D was not the correct response. It was descending. Hopefully didn't put that one. But we did hear a major 6th descending. And that's major La down to Do. For number 10, the correct response was A. We heard a minor 6th descending. This one was tricky, especially when I played it harmonically, because it's so low. Hopefully you gleaned the entertainer backwards from that, or Do to me. That was the correct response. 10B was a major 6th ascending, sounding as Do to La. And number 10C was a minor 6th, Do to lay, or the entertainer. And 10D was the next best response with a major 6th, although it was not the correct answer. It gets a bit harder when we have bigger intervals to deal with, and the next video will tackle sevenths. Let's go back, and now we'll try some of these pitch patterns. Directions: pitch patterns of 5 notes will be played. The first note is given. Draw the remaining pitches you hear using whole notes. Include accidentals where necessary. These pitch patterns will consist of major and minor seconds, major and minor thirds, major and minor sixths, and also perfect primes, perfect fourths, perfect fifths, and you may even run into perfect octaves. Look at the clef for each question. You'll hear each pitch pattern 3 times. Here is number 1. Here is number 2. Here is number 3. Here is number 4. Here is number 5. And number 6. 7. Number 8. And the last one, number 9. Okay, college, let's check our answers and see how we did. For number 1, we started out with a major 6th. Hopefully you heard right away, do to la. Let's listen. That's the MBC. This one started and ended on the same note. I heard the first note and the last note as tonic. It's important to try to identify tonic or do in these pitch patterns, so you have a sense of the other pitches that surround the tonic pitch. So here I heard do, la, sol, re, do. Or I heard a major 6th ascending. From there, we went down a whole step. That was a major 2nd. From there, the A, we traveled down a perfect 4th, back to do. Sometimes it also helps to work backwards. So if you're confused as to the notes that are in the middle, if you can get the last note or the second to last note and you're pretty certain of it, then work backwards. Let's listen to the pitch pattern one more time. Let's try singing it together on solfege. Do, la, sol, re, do. Good. For number 2, we're in bass clef. I gave you a B for a starting note. And it went up right away, just a half step. So the first interval we heard was a minor 2nd, and then there was our interval of a 6th that jumped down. And hopefully you heard do to mi. So in this particular example, I found out after listening that do was C. So then my solfege can be related to ti, do, mi, re, do. Let's listen to this. Do you hear ti, do, mi, re, do? Listen to it again. You heard that the second note and the last note were an octave apart. You can also break it down interval by interval and think to yourself minor second, minor sixth, there's our entertainer backwards, or do mi, and then walking back down to do. E to D, major second, D to C, major second. So the whole pitch pattern, let's try singing on solfege using T, do, mi, re, do. Together, ready, and sing. This next one, number 3, started out with a perfect fourth, to a minor second, up to a minor sixth, and then a perfect prime. Listen to this one without my talking. I figured out that after hearing 3 E flats, that E flat sounded like a good note to call tonic. So the solfege would then be do, fa, mi, do, do. So I heard do, fa, mi, and then 2 high do's. Let's try singing this one together on solfege. 1, 2, ready, and sing. Let's move on to the fourth one. For the fourth one, we're in bass clef. Starting note I gave you was an A, going up a half step to a B flat, so minor second right away. Then we had a jump of a fifth, that was a P5. Minor second, fifth, and the fourth note, hopefully you realized, was the same as the first note if you have a good ear, and hopefully you realized that the second note was the same as the fifth note, making the whole pitch pattern as follows. This one, after hearing it, I decided to call the B flat do. Therefore, the A was T, and then a perfect fifth from B flat do up to the F would be sol. So hopefully you're realizing more and more we do this, the importance of solfege. Let's sing T, do, sol, T, do, using solfege for the fourth pitch pattern. Here's our starting note. 1, 2, ready, sing. T, do, sol, T, do. Great. For number 5, starting note was a high F here. And we had our interval of a sixth right away. And it was a minor sixth. You heard, hopefully, the entertainer backwards, or perhaps you heard do down to mi. This one started and ended on the same note. I found my key note to be F, tonic, and once I did that, I determined that my solfege syllables could be do down to mi, because I heard that minor sixth, up to fa, up to sol, and then up to do. Or perhaps you're still doing it interval by interval, and you heard minor sixth, minor second, major second, perfect fourth. In either case, hopefully you did well with this one. Let's sing it together. Here's our starting note. Do, 2, ready, and sing. Do, mi, fa, sol, do. Gentlemen, if that's too high for you, it is almost for me, you could sing it down the octave. Do, mi, fa, sol, do, if you prefer. Let's sing it together one more time. 2, ready, and sing. For number 6, we started out with a perfect octave leap right away. Then we went back down to the starting note, and then we had our sixth interval of a sixth. and it was a major sixth. Hopefully you heard do to la, finally ending on sol, which is G. I'm calling C my tonic note because that's what I heard, and I heard C repeated 3 times in this pitch pattern. Let's listen to the pitch pattern in its entirety. What am I hearing? I'm hearing do, 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 la, sol. Sing it on solfege, 2, ready, and go. Perhaps you're hearing it just note by note and you heard P8, ascending, P8 descending, major sixth, minor second. Either way, it works, but solfege is quicker and easier. Let's move on to number 7. Starting note was an A flat. It traveled down. The first 3 notes sounded minor to me, and since it traveled down a half step, minor second, and then a major second, I heard me, re, do. I decided to call the F my tonic. That was tonic, or do. And I heard the G as re, and the starting note, A flat, I heard as me. And then our interval of 6th was right here, from the 3rd to the 4th note, an F to a D flat. I heard do to lay. I also heard the entertainer in that. That was a minor 6th ascending. And then the second to last note and the last note, I heard traveling down just a half step. And I'm calling the last note sol. If F is do, C must be sol. So here is this one. Let's listen to it. Me, re, do, la, sol. Sing the solfege. Ready, and go. And the interval of the minor 6th. Hopefully you got that interval of a minor 6th. For number 8, the starting note was an F. We traveled down a minor 3rd. Up a major 2nd. Down a major 3rd. And then up a major 6th. So the 6th is the most important one since this paper has to do with 6ths. Hopefully you realized that was a major 6th and you heard do to la. This one was a little bit tricky. The first 4 notes are really what we call a sequence. That's more of an AP term for next year. So this one, I actually heard the C as do, and then the A was la, do, la. That helped me realize my major 6th. And the first note I heard is fa, re, and then mi, do. Our sequence being fa, re, and then mi, do. Let's listen to this one in its entirety. And there's our MBC theme song right at the end of this one for that major 6th interval. Let's sing this together. 2, ready, and go. And for number 9, treble clef, starting note was a C. We heard 2 C's in this one, and we heard 2 F's in this one. Let's listen to this one carefully. This was a good one if you wanted to work backwards. Okay, the last 2 notes sound like T, do. I've identified F as tonic. So those are do's. And then the note before the last note sounded like a half step or a minor 2nd ascending. So to me that sounded like T, do. And then maybe the tricky thing was this P5, the perfect 5th downward and then the perfect 5th back upward. But hopefully you realize that the 3rd note is the same as the 1st. And you got that. So here our solfege really would be sol, do, sol, ti, do. Listen to it. Let's together on solfege using sol, do, sol, ti, do. 1, 2, together and sing. Or perhaps you went interval by interval and you heard perfect fifth descending, perfect fifth ascending, and here is our minor sixth. Right there, from the C down to the E, that's the entertainer, or do down to mi, and then back up to do. Okay, college, in our next video, we'll be dealing with major and minor sevenths. Isn't that exciting? Have a great day. Talk to you soon.